Good morning. Welcome back to the Daily Dose. Have you ever received a gift, or maybe someone's done a kind gesture to you and you felt maybe obligated to return the favor? I have, and here and there I struggle with it, that I need to just stop and just humbly accept the gift and just say thank you and leave it at that. And it can be hard. It's hard to do that sometimes. And Peter struggles with that today in the story that I want to talk with you guys about. And that's in John chapter 13, 8 through 9. And this is what it says. "You will never wash my feet ever," Peter said. Jesus replied, "If I don't wash you, you have no part with me." Simon Peter said to him, "Lord, not only my feet, but also my hands and my head." I got to go on a youth trip once. It was a leadership trip, and our youth pastor then at the time had us do this where we all got in a circle and the person on our left would get down with a bowl of soap and water and wash the person on their right's feet. And I remember feeling really uncomfortable. It was very kind of just an intimate thing. It's my feet. They could be sweaty or stinky. I don't know. And it just felt odd. And I can't imagine how Peter felt then, because back then they wore sandals and the ground was dirt, and so their feet were probably very dirty. And Peter probably felt obligated that he needed to be washing Jesus' feet, not the other way around. And for us today, we can struggle with that when it comes to God's grace, because God's grace is kind of hard to fathom. It's kind of hard to wrap our minds around that He's given it to us freely, that there's nothing we need to do to earn it. It's just given to us. And that can be challenging, and that's what Peter is kind of dealing with. But if we try to earn God's grace by trying to do a lot of good actions, it isn't grace anymore. It's something that we deserve, and that isn't the way God's grace works. But also, it's not about us doing enough good works. It says in Ephesians 2, verses 8 through 9, it says, "For you are saved by grace through faith, and this is not from yourselves, it is God's gift, not from works, so that no one can boast." So it's about nothing that we've done to be able to earn it. A lot of us out there might feel that maybe we can't approach God or come to church because we have to clean ourselves up and fix ourselves up before we can approach Him or even walk into the church building. But that's not the case. If God were waiting for you to become a good person, He'd be waiting forever, because without Him, we're imperfect. And that's the amazing thing about God's grace and His love, is that He died for us while we were still sinners. We were enemies towards Him, and He still loved us and died for us. So we can approach Him as we are, broken and dirty, and He will fix us up and He will cleanse us. And that's such an amazing thing, and I'm so grateful for it, because I don't have to do that by myself. He does that for me because He loves me. But on the flip side, another thing that Peter was struggling with, and that is what happens after the fact once we believe in Jesus. When Jesus demonstrates something to us, He expects us to demonstrate that to the world. And I want to leave you with this question just to think about, and that's in Tony Evans' book, and it's this quote, and I really like it, and this is what it says. "Do you struggle with the concept of God's grace, either because you don't feel worthy to receive the gift, or because you know what He is asking you to do after you received His grace?" That can be a tough question, and I just encourage you guys to ponder that this today, and just think, are you struggling with feeling worthy, or are you scared of what is expected of you after you've become a Christian and accepted God's grace? And so I just want to encourage you guys today to remember the fact that we can approach God because He loves us and He's died for us, and we don't have to do anything to earn that, but it's been given to us freely. And so I just want to encourage you to just say thank you, and just feel grateful today that you can rest in the fact that Jesus loves you, and that we can have peace, that God is with us, and that there's nothing that we have to do to earn His grace or His favor. And so I hope that this was encouraging. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you guys next time.